So I have a question. What if the universe is listening to you? What if the universe is bringing you amazing gifts and opportunities, yet you cannot see them? What if the universe is bringing you exactly what your limiting beliefs, safety patterns, and ancestral entanglements are asking for? You can see my Debunking Abundance 3-part series for more details on what those are. And these blocks are actually what one part of your brain wants, yet there's another part of you that doesn't. What if the universe is listening to the loudest voice or the parts of you that has the most votes? I see this often when there are different parts of you trying to create an outcome where the methods sabotage the other parts of you that are trying to create a really great outcome. For example, you want more money, yet when you get it, you stress spend on things you thought you wanted or didn't really need, and you feel guilt and shame about it. Or you want to promote your business services, yet you freeze up when it comes time to post on social media or pitch yourself to that dream client. You avoid really putting yourself out there. Or when you want a relationship, you start one with a wonderfully fine person only to unknowingly derail it and feel regret about losing that person when it's over. Or you want to exercise and eat healthy, yet instead of walking out the door to the gym, you sit yourself down on the couch, turn on Netflix, and eat pizza. These are all examples of when your subconscious parts outvote your conscious parts. So instead of you living out your adult self's version of how life could be in all its fabulousness, you are trapped by your much younger self's version of how life was from decades ago. A life where you couldn't be yourself. A life where you couldn't have what you wanted. A life where you didn't get what you needed. A life where it feels better to hide who you are than to face the heartbreak of rejection. A life where your much younger self decided you weren't good enough, worthy, or deserving to have what you want with ease, freedom, and joy. This is your subconscious self who is at odds with your adult conscious self in creating the abundance, ease, freedom, and joy that you want. So you may ask, how do you get your conscious self to have the most votes or the loudest voice so you can have what you want? Well, that's the game of willpower, and it's never one that is sustainable. I say do this instead. Get your subconscious self on the same team as your conscious self. This way, all the votes are in the direction of what you want consciously versus trying to overpower the other. When you're in a battle with yourself, who really wins? So you can have your conscious and your subconscious parts come together for a common goal, and the journey will be so much more fun, easy, and abundant. And you start that by shifting what is in the way, because behavior is the highest quality information available. You start to notice the upsets, disappointment, procrastinations, fear, dread, overwhelm, the thoughts you have about not being good enough or deserving. You notice all of those things. This is really good information because it points us to where the entanglement or the block is located. Another way to look at it is, what behaviors are you doing that you wish you were not doing? Spending too much money, not making decisions, avoided needing conversations, closing down in relationships, freezing up at promoting your business. You're stopped from going for that dream client or promotion. You're sacrificing for others at the detriment of your well-being. Or the other thing to ask yourself is, what behaviors would you like to do more of that you are not doing? Making decisions with ease and confidence, pitching that dream client, putting your name in the ring for that promotion, being vulnerable in a relationship, feeling it's safe to express yourself, managing money well, enjoying the money you do make, taking a vacation, or having time to yourself. These are all great places to look for what it is you are wanting more of or wanting less of. This information helps you find what is in the way of you having what you want with ease. It also helps you see the ecology of what the universe is bringing your way, meaning our experience of ourselves and the world is a direct reflection of our beliefs and perceptions about ourselves and the world. If you don't believe you are deserving, good enough, or worthy, then you will have that experience. So your brain is invested in being right about how the world works. So there's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, whose job is to find and filter evidence that supports your beliefs, that proves that your beliefs are right, even the unwanted, painful ones. Now, if that's happening on a loop, our beliefs have our brain find evidence for those beliefs to be true. And then those beliefs become stronger because there's truth, there's evidence out in the world about them. And they eventually become our truth about ourselves and the world. A belief isn't a belief unless it's true. And we forget they're just a notion. It's a belief. It's not the truth about ourselves or the world. So much of what you believe about yourself and the world is mirrored back by the universe. Contrary to popular opinion, the universe is not a punishing and rewarding universe. It's not about being good enough to deserve something. If you're not good enough, you don't get what you want. It is not that. It's a mirroring universe. It's not one where you are good enough and then you get the prize of success, a loving relationship, money, and freedom. No, the universe mirrors back to us what our internal self is broadcasting or transmitting outward. See, as creators, we have the opportunity to create our experience in this life. And with being a creator, you have free will as to what it is you want to experience. So if there are parts of you that are voting for you to have struggle and to have to sacrifice and stress in your life because that aligns with your family's beliefs or your safety patterning from childhood, or even from ancestral entanglements. And that is a choice, a subconscious choice. All of these safety patterns, limited beliefs, and generational bound entanglements are mirrored back to you. That list comes from my Deblocking Abundance 3-part series if you want to learn more. So what needs to happen is the parts of you that are voting for the struggle need to get on the same team as the parts of you that are voting for ease, joy, and freedom, abundance, and success. We do that through revising the patterns that are running at the subconscious level in the brain and use tools in the quantum field beyond time and space so that you can uncollapse waves that are less useful, the ones that are holding the blocks and limitations. And then after uncollapsing the waves that you don't want, we can then collapse the waves that have supportive beliefs that you author as your adult self now. When you do this, the universe has to deliver. Even if we don't always recognize it, the universe will mirror back what we are creating. If you are getting back something that you don't want, the universe is mirroring back what a majority of your parts is transmitting subconsciously, as I talked about earlier. Now, if you've removed the limiting beliefs, safety patterns, and ancestral entanglements that align all of your parts on the same team, heading towards the same goal, then what you are getting back might be misinterpreted based on your familiarity with your past limiting beliefs and patterns. Let me give you an example. There's a client. She wanted to launch this incredible business she'd been dreaming about for almost 10 years. She was finally in a place to be able to do it. And she was looking for funding for a location, and she got turned down. Or she'd go to the storefront place that she wanted to rent, and it'd be rented out before she could even get there. She saw this as a no from the universe. She saw this as a not now, and that her timing was off. Her interpretation of getting no to the financing and not being able to rent available retail space was based on her childhood safety patterns that were running. There's a part of her that knows how her family holds, how life is, and that you have to work hard to have what you want. And subconsciously, part of her didn't want to disrespect that by doing her life easier and being more successful. So she used the tools and methods I offer to shift this. Then she realized what that no really was. It was the universe listening to her desires. She wanted the opening of her business to be easy, so the universe was bringing her smaller rooms to rent instead of the large storefronts that she was looking at, or whole building spaces that she had inquired into. The universe wanted her not to worry about being able to pay her rent each month by starting out small, so it would not be stressful on her body, her mind, and her life. See, her well-being is incredibly important to her, so she had envisioned that this process would be easy from the start. The universe was actually conspiring on her behalf to have it be easier for her. She was not able to see that until she could get her family's perceptions of how hard you need to work to have money out of the way. So she leased a smaller space, opened her business, and has since expanded it to a very large storefront space. The universe was listening. It's just that we sometimes hear it through our distorted lens of the past, a filter that actually belongs to someone else and that creates challenges, frustrations, and all sorts of friction on the life we're trying to create. When you can revise those distortions, then so much more is possible. And your partnership in co-creating with the universe can really be a magical space. There's no more efforting upstream where there's nothing on the other side. No satisfaction, no happiness, just another stream to swim up with all the effort you can muster. And this continues until you can revise those beliefs. Another client of mine in Australia was having the hardest time finding a place to live that suited her needs. She had moved twice already and had been scouring the ads for almost a year visiting places, even hours away, trying to find a lovely place by the seashore where her dogs could run free and she could have her garden. She was becoming so frustrated in the no's and the waiting and the waiting. So she worked on her beliefs about being able to have what she wanted, not just taking what was given. We worked on her safety patterns about trusting herself and feeling safe to reach for more in her life and allowing the process of manifesting to unfold. Then one day she read about this little spot that had seemed perfect. Actually, she said she knew that it was her spot just from reading the post. And she was right. She got the place. It took her a few weeks to move there. Once she was there, a huge cyclone storm hit the area. Her spot was not damaged. She was safe and secure. She was surprised to notice that all the other places where she had tried to move, that she felt frustrated that she was turned down from, or that it wasn't in her price range, were all destroyed. She realized those no's were actually in alignment with what she was trying to manifest. A safe, peaceful place to live for her dogs and her garden. She couldn't see that at the time the universe was guiding her to a safe place to live. She only saw it as, I don't get to have what I want, or I'm not deserving or good enough to have it the way I want it with ease. Now she could see how all these were perceptions from old beliefs, that the universe was actually aligned with her vision for herself. Her business has quadrupled since she started working with me. She's continually expanding her product offerings, having clients refer her to other clients, and is having a grand time doing it. She has renewed joy and peace in her life, working with the universe in manifesting and knowing that she's worthy just as she is. She's better able to see now that the no isn't the old no. It's actually an opportunity for a better way. And the universe has an infinite amount of better ways to bring us what we want. And it's listening. Let's make sure the voice we want it to hear is the one that it hears. When you remove the blocks that are in your way to having a deeper rapport with yourself, the universe, and what you are creating, it's actually peaceful and calm. It's an amazing place to have your own connection to the divine as you create what you desire. If you want to find out more about how to create this for yourself, click the button below, pick a time for us to connect and chat more.